What's the vibe there? We know the vibe here. TJ's mad at me, but what's the vibe there today? Because yesterday a different feeling, but what's happening now?
I'm actually walking through the convention center to Lucas Oil for day 2. It's the cornerbacks, and it's the second deepest group of prospects apparently for Daniel Jeremiah, my colleague who sits to my right in the booth. The deepest were the edge rushers. Man, last night I got to tell you, they get bigger, stronger, faster. Although Nolan Smith, the kid from Georgia, it wasn't the biggest. He's 238 pounds, which is like 50 to 70 pounds lighter than a lot of the other defensive linemen that were running. But he ran a 4.39 last night and jumped 41 and a half inches on the vertical, which is, the way of saying somebody jumped out of the gym. He crushed it last night. And a stat that came across that since 2003, since we've been kind of doing this combine on NFL Network, in terms of anybody over 215 pounds, there's only been 2 other guys who have jumped over 40 inches on the vertical and ran faster than 4.4 at the combine. And the 2 other guys are Breece Hall, the Jets running back they chose last year, and DK Metcalf. And this guy's coming for quarterbacks. I mean, it's a running back and a receiver. This guy's coming for quarterbacks. And that's what it showed last night. If these guys get bigger, stronger, faster, chasing down quarterbacks. And tonight, the back end of the defense, and they're apparently just as talented.
So with Nolan Smith running so fast, but also dealing with an injury for the most of last season as well. So if a team was like, well, he's been hurt, we'll knock him down a little bit. Does this kind of lift him back up to even, or does it even propel him farther than that, the fact that he's such an athlete?
I think it's going to propel him pretty damn far, man. It was funny. I don't know if you guys caught the coverage yesterday when he did it, but the initial was 4.4. That was the initial number that we clocked him at, and that pissed him off. He took his phone, somebody apparently told him that he clocked it at 4.4. He threw it down in his bag, like he got really angry. And then the official comes in at 4.39, and he was now suddenly like in a much better mood. And Stacey Dales, our colleague on the field, went up to him and interviewed him on live TV, and he starts talking about how, this is the way he wanted to run, and we showed video of his Georgia teammates watching him and at a watch party and going crazy. And at one point he then says, Georgia, great spot. I don't know if you know, but we've built a new restaurant in our locker room, and they serve steak and lobster. And I'm like, that's kind of on brand, right? Yeah. I mean, Georgia, they win in championships. They're serving surf and turf to their 5-star recruits. I mean, my gosh, I'm glad that he used the platform because I think Georgia needs the publicity. So it all worked out for him and the Bulldogs.
Well, talking about the Bulldogs, obviously there's a lot of talk about Georgia taking over Alabama as the powerhouse. I mean, it was said to Nick Saban's face during the national championship game. So with all the talent out there, though, at the Combine, do you feel like with the folks there, the athletes, that you can actually see that as well with Georgia kind of taking a step up?
Hell yeah, man. I mean, you could see it, but, tonight, I don't know how many Georgia defensive backs there may be left after they, got a whole bunch of them over the last few years. But, the kid tonight that I think is going to be front and center, just make me feel older, is Joey Porter's son from Penn State, one of TJ's many teams. I just remember Joey Porter blowing up Super Bowl 40 by blasting Jeremy Stevens, the tight end of the Seattle Seahawks. He just went all in on Jeremy Stevens. And now here we are after Super Bowl 57. His kid's working out of the Combine as a star corner. It's just things go by fast, Bobby,
With Jalen Carter coming back, how did that affect the mood? How did that affect? Did you see him at all? Like, what happened with him?
Nah, I mean, he was on the field. I mean, I guess he came back and he did the interviews with some of the teams that are just eager to know what's going on with him.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.